Good evening. My name is Jess Melendez.
And I'm Frank Horley.
It's been more than a month since the inauguration, and confirmations for President Trump's cabinet members are well underway. So far, most of his 22 nominees have been confirmed. Most recently, this has included Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services on February 13th, Kelly Loeffler as Administrator of the Small Business Administration on February 19th, and Kash Patel as Director of the FBI on February 22nd. Although President Trump's picks do not come without controversy, it is a cabinet of some historic firsts. Marco Rubio is the first Hispanic American to hold the position of Secretary of State. Scott Bessent is the first Republican cabinet member that is a part of the LGBTQ+ community as Treasury Secretary. And Tulsi Gabbard is the first member of the Pacific Islander community to hold the role of Director of National Intelligence. The president's cabinet is expected to be finalized in the coming weeks. We're going to send things over to Ava McGinty, who sat down with Julia Rice, the president of Colleges Against Cancer, to talk about their upcoming Relay for Life charity event.
Hi, my name is Ava McGinty, and I am joined with Julia Rice, who is the president of the Colleges Against Cancer Club, and she's going to be talking to us today about the Relay for Life race. So, if you would just like to explain what the event is and what it means for the organization.
Yeah, so Relay for Life is a big event, especially with Colleges Against Cancer, because Colleges Against Cancer is a club affiliated with the American Cancer Society. The American Cancer Society is the one who hosts the actual Relay for Life. It's through their national organization. So there's many Relay for Lives all around the country, not just at colleges. So they're in communities as well. But we're bringing it back to Monmouth because it was here before COVID, and it had a very big impact on the local community with fundraising, and it was able to provide patient support and other necessary things like that for those going through cancer treatments. So we're very excited to have it back this year.
Yeah, that is so exciting. It's so nice to have that back on campus, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you guys were doing different events before that, right? Something else kind of similar, or?
Yeah, so we did the Hope Walk last year.
Nice.
So that was something similar. It was kind of a condensed version of Relay for Life. We didn't do any fundraising because we wanted to kick it off again and see how the students and the community were able to become a part of it again. But once we realized how successful it was and how much everyone really loved being there as a community for such a good cause, we decided that it would be time to start Relay for Life again.
Yeah, that's so great. So then all of the money that is raised through Relay for Life, does that go to the American Cancer Society, or who does that go to?
Yeah, so it goes to the American Cancer Society. So we have a website online, and that goes to the National American Cancer Society page, but also our individual event page.
Oh, nice.
So that's really awesome because we can track the fundraising that all the teams are doing, individuals are doing, clubs are doing. Anyone can donate, anyone can make a team, anyone can sign up. So online, right now, I believe we have $3,500 fundraised.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's so great.
Really exciting. We hope to get that total up. We have a month left, so I know that a lot of the community is going to come together and start doing more fundraisers. A lot more teams are going to get signed up. So once that is able to be accomplished, we'll be in a really good spot. And all the money will go towards patient support, advocacy, research, and even our local community members.
That's so great. That's such a nice way to give back to kind of all realms there too.
Definitely.
So has there been a lot of Monmouth University specific support with this event? Have you noticed a lot of teams signing up based out of Monmouth University?
Yeah, so right now we have 21 teams signed up. All of them are clubs or organizations from campus.
Nice.
One of the clubs actually is by a professor, or one of the teams is by a professor. I'm not representing any specific club, but representing one of her friends that is not on campus. So you can get involved and represent for anyone in the community as a member of the Monmouth University community, or you can sign up just in the Monmouth local community of Long Branch if you know someone around, and have them sign up as well. So it's bringing community and campus together, and that's really what we're striving to do.
That's so great. That's so nice that you're able to do that, especially through this event.
Yeah.
And then I had a question about how this event and Colleges Against Cancer directly can help impact Monmouth University cancer survivors as well.
Yes. So actually one of our well, a few of our club members are cancer survivors. So one of our club members has her own foundation, and we fundraised for that back in September. So we had $500 fundraised on campus. We
That's
did a
nice.
daisy sale. It was really successful, and that all went to her. So she's also going to be there. We're going to honor her as a survivor. Her name is Elena. If anybody knows her, she is a nursing major, and she is just the sweetest person ever. So it's so nice to be able to give back to the students here. Additionally, we have a club member who's on the e-board, the treasurer, and her mom is actually our advisor. Her name is Ludriana, and she is a cancer survivor. She had a brain tumor back in high school. So now she is in, I believe, her 3rd year of college, and although having long-term effects from treatment, she is doing amazing. And it's so nice to be able to see how they were able to come full circle to back to supporting others in need when they know how it is to be in that position.
Yeah, that's so nice. I think that's such a great thing that you're able to like help like university students specifically. I didn't know that you guys had specifically fundraised for like that one organization for her, which is really cool as well.
Yes.
That's so great.
Yes.
And then like I know we have a month until the event, so you had mentioned like the teams. So like how can Monmouth University students like get involved like now? Like what could they be doing?
So right now, with a month left, I'd say the big thing to do is to sign up online. So we announced that the theme is decades this year, so that'll be super fun because it'll be music from all the different decades, it'll be fashion from the different decades, you know, games and things like that. So what they can do is go online to our website. You can look up Monmouth University Relay for Life, and you can make an account, and you can either start a team if you're the first one for a club or organization, or you can join a team for an existing club or organization. So by putting your name online, we're able to show how many people in the community are there supporting the event. And not only that, but you'll be able to track fundraising goals and help your team reach the top. So at the event, there'll be some kinds of incentives for top fundraising teams and also teams who have made the biggest impact in the community. So a few teams just are hosting fundraisers in collaboration with Colleges Against Cancer. So First to Fly actually just did one. They did a bake sale, and all the funds from the bake sale went to their Relay for Life team. Additionally, I believe that some of the fraternities or sororities we talked about doing collaborative events as well, closer to Relay for Life. So check out those on campus as well, because that will also help our fundraising goal.
Yeah, that's so great. And I like the theme too. It's very like creative, and it's like nice to have.
We decided that, you know, it was the inspiration for it was throughout the decades, Monmouth University has done Relay for Life. So I looked back online and found news articles from the Outlook dating back to 2011 of articles of when they did Relay for Life and how much they fundraised and just reporting on the event and before the event and things like that. So I kind of compiled all those Outlook news articles, and the theme came about by saying through the decade, this is where we have gotten to, and we have been able to now make it past COVID and start a new Relay for Life. So it's kind of embodying the decades of time.
Yeah, definitely. That's such a cool way to like incorporate like the past events and like different clubs and organizations, like the Outlook having like covered the events. So that's really cool as well. That's so great. And then like, do you specifically have like a personal connection to this event or just Colleges Against Cancer in general?
So in my hometown, I live in New Egypt, which I doubt anybody knows where that is, but it's about 45 minutes from Monmouth, and it's a really small town. My high school had probably total 200 students, right? My class had maybe 70. So everyone knew each other.
Right. Tight-knit kind of feeling.
Yes, exactly. And so we always did this event, Relay for Life, in our town. And I started when I was in middle school, and the student council always made a team. So that's how I got introduced to it. And then through the years, since it's such a small town, the American Cancer Society wasn't able to support the event as much as they had in previous years, just because there's many events going on. So me and another girl who had been doing it since we were in middle school stepped up to take the event lead position. So we planned and ran the entire thing for the whole town. It was a lot of work, but it was very rewarding, especially because so many people who had been doing Relay for Life for so many years would have been so upset to see the event go. So we really wanted to step up in that role and be able to make sure that the event could still happen in our town. So that's why I wanted to bring it back here, because I know how impactful it is just within our community, and I can't imagine how upset people were when it stopped in this community, and how excited they would be for when it returns.
That's so really cool to have that connection from like when you're younger. It seems like you've always been like a pretty strong like leader in that front, which is really cool.
Thank you.
So how has it been like taking on the leadership role of a president for this club?
It's definitely been a lot of work, but
Yeah.
all rewarding work. I think that especially this year with trying to get people to sign up online and donate their time and money, because we all know as college students, money is money, you know, even $5. But really what we've been trying to tell people is, you know, it's number one, it's going to a good cause, right?
Right.
And then the online fundraising fee is $25 per person. So just if you're thinking about it, that's a cup of coffee is like $5, right? If you get like a coffee a few times a week, if you don't get coffee one time that week for just about a month, you'll have paid your registration fee. And that's going to someone who really, really needs it.
Yeah.
Someone who needs it, and I know we need our coffee to stay awake, but someone who needs it
A
for
lot more.
life-saving treatment. So I think that has been one of the challenges, is just kind of getting the word out there and getting people to sign up and become involved. And also people don't really know what it is, so I don't
Yeah.
blame them. But other than that, just reaching out and making connections with all these great organizations on campus that I truly didn't even know some of them existed. And I hate to say that,
Yeah.
but you know, when you deal with like your major a lot or one club a lot, you come very accustomed to just what goes on there.
Right.
So it's been amazing for me to be able to open up my, I guess, just knowledge about Monmouth.
Right, yeah.
And also make an impact during the process.
I definitely think that makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of the different clubs can get like lost in the shuffle of like over 100 that we have here on campus.
Yes.
So it's really cool to get that opportunity, and hopefully that this like helps get a little bit more exposure and students can see
Yes,
that.
yes.
And we have a 1 month until the event, so if
Yes.
everyone can just boycott that cup of coffee at
Right,
Parsons
yes.
or Dunkin', and you have enough time.
Yes.
So that's really good. And
Yeah.
then like for you, like what does it mean to be a member of Colleges Against Cancer? Like how has this impacted your experience at Monmouth?
So it really has made me very interested specifically in cancer, not only from a community standpoint and like social and knowing people who have been impacted, but it's really driven me to want to learn more about it on the scientific front. So I'm a biology major here at Monmouth, I'm a senior. I'm doing research with Dr. Weisberg about nutraceuticals and their treatment, selective treatment on HSC2 cancer line, which is oral cancer cells, and then also HF1s, which are oral cells but not cancer cells.
Gotcha.
And just being able to see the real scientific mechanisms behind cancer cell growth, treatment, and things like that makes me so much more driven as just a member of the club, because you see both the research side
Right.
and the impact side. I think that really has helped me to want to further my education in not only just cancer research, but cancer in general, because it's such a specific disease to every person who has it, and just meeting so many different people who had it in so many different forms, but in so many different intensities as well.
Right.
The connection between the two it's insane, really.
Yeah.
But I think that has made such an impact on me as a member of the club, and also as in a leadership role of the club, and just a student here at Monmouth.
That's definitely very like fascinating that you're able to like do that research here, and then
Yes.
also in the same campus be able to see the impact that your Colleges Against Cancer work is having. So
Yes.
that's a really I feel like very unique thing as well.
It is,
Yeah.
yes. I will value this
Yeah.
honestly forever. Just being able to connect not only the community aspect of it, but also relating to my major. And I am just so grateful for this club here on campus.
Oh, that's so great to hear. And would you mind just telling us a little bit about like where people can sign up for the event, where it's going to be, when it's going to be?
Yeah, so the actual event day is going to be on April 11th. Registration is going to start at 5 p.m. and then doors will open around 5:30. So the actual timeline will be released soon with a lot more events that we're going to be doing the night of, but the two biggest things would be the survivor ceremony, which will probably be around 6 or 6:30, and then the luminary ceremony, which will be later on in the night around 9 or 9:30. Those are the two biggest parts of the event. The survivor ceremony would be where we honor all the survivors that are coming to the event, whether they be family members. If anyone knows family members, you can invite them to our event. It doesn't just have to be students.
Okay.
And you can you can honor them through your team. And then also the luminary ceremony will be later on, and that's where we honor those who have passed away from cancer. So those will be the two biggest things happening at the event, but also fun things at the event. So those are the more serious things. We'll be doing things like a competition to see who has the best performance to a song from one of the decades and things
cool.
like that. And it'll be in Anacon B. Hopefully the weather will hold up for us, but if it's anything in my experience, it always rains because it's in April. But hopefully it would be able to be nice out so we can do some laps outside and everything like that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us. Again, this is Julia Rice, and I'm Ava McGinty, and that was us talking about the Colleges for Cancer Relay for Life race.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. We're looking forward to the event. If you haven't already, it's time to file your taxes. There is much speculation about what the 2025 tax season will hold. The recent layoffs of about 6,000 IRS employees, consisting mostly of those recently hired or promoted, have sparked concerns over possible delays in receiving refund checks. There is no guarantee that this will result in delays, but it is always best to be prepared. Some pieces of advice include to file early and electronically, and opt for direct deposit. The deadline to file is April 15th.
Monmouth University held its 6th annual Toni Morrison Day that took place on February 21st. The celebration honored Morrison as a renowned novelist and editor. Speeches given by the university president, Dr. Patrick Leahy, opened the event where he commended the English department. The keynote speech was delivered by Princeton professor Dr. Autumn Womack, where attendees learned more about Morrison's work and Black politics. Students competed in digital poster and creative writing competitions. The digital poster winners were Catherine Tito and Daniel Martin. Their work will be hung in the library for the rest of the semester. The winners of the creative writing competition were Rachel Melillo, Carly Migliorisi, and Kia Womack. They all had the opportunity to read their poetry to the audience. All the events that made up Toni Morrison Day contributed to making this year's celebration another success.
The popular language learning platform Duolingo recently launched an unusual ad campaign. According to the company's social media pages, their cartoon owl mascot, Duo, had died. The company even posted an official eulogy for the fictional bird. They then went on to pose a challenge, stating that users had the ability to help save Duo if they earned enough points by completing in-app lessons. Following this announcement, the app saw record-breaking numbers of downloads. 13 days after his death, the brand announced on social media that their faithful mascot had been resurrected in a post captioned, "Faking my death was a test, and you all passed."
Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency have a new policy regarding federal workers. Every week, everybody that works in the federal government will receive an email asking them to provide a brief list of the things they accomplished over the past week. The workers are given a couple of days to respond to the email, and if they don't respond by a certain deadline, the government will take it as a sign of resignation. This move continues the notion that President Trump and Elon Musk are trying to keep the government more efficient. There has been widespread controversy regarding this move, with some claiming that Musk is taking too much control over the government.
Zombie fans are finally going to be able to watch the next chapter of The Last of Us. The popular video game franchise turned HBO series has officially announced its Season 2 release date of April 13th. Previous cast members like Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, and Gabriel Luna will be returning to reprise their roles, with the addition of new cast members like Caitlin Dever, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Wright, and Young Mazzino. The story will resume 5 years after the events of Season 1. Unlike the first season, which reflects the timeline of the first game, showrunners have said that Season 2 will not necessarily run parallel to the second game, in addition for the potential to run for another 2 more seasons. It has also been said that the new season will feature deleted scenes from the game. The TV series, which debuted in 2023, has since become critically acclaimed, being the recipient for dozens of awards.
Winter sports are in the last couple weeks of their season, but spring sports are in full swing as lacrosse, baseball, and softball have started their season. Men's lacrosse started their season on February 8th and lost their first 3 games, but were able to snap back and get their first win of the season on February 25th at Wagner, where junior attacker Connor Gorman scored 4 goals. Women's lacrosse is still searching for their first win of the season, as they currently have an 0-4 record, but will start conference play on March 15th against Elon. Baseball is now 3-4 on the season after traveling to North Carolina and ending their trip in a 7-6 win against Pitt, while softball just concluded their trip to South Carolina, where they went 3-1 at the Scotsman Invitational. Men's basketball just had back-to-back wins, which ended in a program record performance from Abdi Bashir Jr., who had a 30-point performance against Northeastern on February 24th, going 8 for 13 from the three-point line. His 104th made three set the record for the most made threes in a season in program history. Women's basketball fell just short on Sunday, February 23rd against Hofstra, ending in a final score of 57-54. Fifth-year forward Taisha Exenor and sophomore forward Divine Debula both led the Hawks with 15 points. Debula not only led the Hawks, but recorded her fourth double-double of the season, while Exenor scored double figures for the seventh consecutive game. Men's basketball will face Elon on Thursday, February 27th, and Drexel Saturday, March 1st. Women's basketball will start their two-game road trip on Friday, February 28th, where they will face Drexel at 6 p.m. The Hawks will then travel to New York to face Stony Brook on March 2nd.
Canada defeated the United States in the National Hockey League's Four Nations final, with Connor McDavid scoring the game-winning goal in overtime to give Canada a 3-2 victory. The win avenges the loss Canada suffered to the United States a week prior in the round-robin portion of the tournament. As of right now, Four Nations is not expected to return for 2026, as the year will mark the first time that NHL players will participate in the Olympics since 2014.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Hawk TV News. I'm Jess Melendez.
And I'm Frank Horley. Make sure to tune in next time for another episode. Have a great night.